Hello everyone, welcome to Clashing Coder. So in this video we will see the question that is 130, that is surrounded regions. So it is a medium level question and it is also sometimes asked in interviews. So let's see the problem statement. Given a 2D board consisting or containing X and O. This is O, actually not 0. You can see the letter O. Capture all the regions surrounded by X. So here all the directions are not given, so we will consider only top, bottom and left and right, not the diagonal. Okay, a region is captured by flipping all the zeros, or all the O's, these are O's, into X in that surrounded region. So this is the example that we are given and this will be our output. So let's see, I will explain you the how we can do that. So you can see this is the matrix, this is the same matrix as given. So in this we have to first of all check for the O's. So these are the O's, you can see, and a O is only trapped if this is O. It is only trapped if it has all X's on its 4 directions. You can see X are there. Okay, so we don't have to compare this one, this diagonal we don't have to compare, but in this you can see this O is actually trapped. It is covered by all the 4 sides by X, so you can see it is trapped. But in this O, if you compare, so it is not covered by the left and the right and the bottom. So it is not covered or cannot be captured. So this is what is a simple captured word means for this O. Okay, so now let's see. In this you can see problem we are given, so we have to capture all the X. So for capturing them we have to flip them to or change them to X. So if this let me change this, or let me take the highlighter. So you can see in this, you can see only this 0, okay, and this 0 and this 0 are captured. So we will have to change them to X. If we have to capture them, so as it is written, a region is captured by flipping all the zeros into X. So these zeros are, you can see are captured by X, because you can see X is covering all the sides for these zeros. You don't have to compare this because this is diagonal. We have to compare only the 4 sides, that is top, left, right and bottom. So this is what we have to compare. So we will simply, you can see these X are getting trapped. So we will have to, what we have to do is we have to simply convert them into X. So we have to override this matrix and we have to simply convert them to X. But if you see this 0 is not trapped by all the directions. So you can see this is X, okay, this is X, this is X, but there is no X on the bottom. So this cannot be trapped. If it would have been like this, okay, just a more row would have been given. So you can see this 0 is getting trapped now because it is trapped by all the 4 directions. So it cannot move. So we can simply convert it to X. So this is what we have to do. This is what the problem statement means. So let's see the algorithm for this. So actually what we will do is, let me show you. So our main algorithm will be, we will simply traverse, first of all we will traverse this row, top and bottom row, and first and last column. So we have to traverse this first and last and this first and last column and rows. Okay, then what we will do is we will first of all traverse this. Let me erase these lines. I will explain you here only. So you can see I've written the pseudocode also here. So first I will explain you what we have to do, then I will explain the pseudocode. So you can see in this matrix that we are given, what we will do is we will first of all traverse this top row. Okay, we will traverse this top row and we will check if there is some 0, because if there is some 0, like in this case, if there is some 0, okay, if there is a 0, so if this bottom is 0, so it will be not, this 0 will be not trapped. So if we get a 0 over here in the boundary, so we will check if it is connected with any other 0, because then it cannot not also be trapped. So we'll simply mark them as some other number that we will change afterwards. So we'll mark them as other number. If it would have been 0 here, then we don't have any 0 or O, if I said 0, sorry for that, it is actually O. It cannot be trapped because this is not covered by X and on the bottom side, so that means it cannot be trapped. So these zeros also, these O's can also not be trapped. So that is what we have to take care of. So what we'll do is we will simply traverse the first row, last row and the first column and the last column, and we will check if there is any 0. So we will traverse this, okay, there is no 0, you can see, and we will traverse this first column also, there is no 0, and when we traverse this last row, the nth row, then you see there is a 0. So what we will do is we will check if we will mark it to some other value, actually, that is I or something, you can say any other value. You can keep it as 1 or something like that. So what we will do is we will check if it is 0, okay, then we will mark it as 1. Okay, then we will go to this 0. So you can see this 0. So what we will do is at every point, every 0 occurrence, if there is a 0 occurred, okay, this 0 has occurred, so then what we will do is we will run a DFS from this point. And what DFS does is it will check in all the 4 directions, that is the top, bottom and left and right. So it will check on the all directions and it will check if there is a 0. So yeah, it has a 0 adjacent 0. So what it will do is it will mark it also as 1, or you can say any other number that you want to mark it as. So it will be also marked as 1, this also will be marked as 1, and then a DFS will recursively run for this element. So it will again check for top position, left position, right position, and down bottom position. So if it checks for the left position, so you can see this is also 0, so this will be also marked as 1 or any other value that we want to use, or any character. So like this we will end up having all the like values that were occurring with the 0, that is boundary 0. All the O's that were connecting with the boundary O's will be marked as any other character. So that means it cannot be trapped by X. So that means we will simply reduce our search space for those zeros or O's that can be trapped by X. So at the end what we will do is we will have this values as 1. Okay, we will keep them as 1, or I will mark them as M, or you can say marked. Okay, so at last we will end up having this matrix. So you can see we have this matrix. So now what our job will be, simply we have to traverse whole matrix, and if there occurs a O, simple O, because you can see this O occurs, so that means it can be trapped. Otherwise, if like it was this O, you can see if this was a O, then it cannot be trapped because it is not covered by the left side, or the, or you can say left side only. Yeah, this one cannot be covered by the bottom side and the left, right side, sorry. So that is what we have to do. So now if any O occurs, so we can simply change it to X. You can see to capture it we have to simply convert or flip the O's into X. So what we'll do, we will simply convert them to X. So you can see these will be converted to X, and at the end we will also keep checking if it is 1 or the marked value that we have used. So actually we will use M, you can say marked, M for marked. So these are actually characters vector. It is a vector of characters. So this is what we have to do. So we have to mark it as 1. So when this X occurs, okay, this 0 occurs, we will simply change it to X because it can be trapped. Otherwise it would have been marked as 1 or the M during the DFS call only. If it is M or 1, then we will simply convert it to 0 again, because if it cannot be trapped we have to keep it as it is. It is O, and you can see here also it is O. Sorry for that, I am also getting confused between 0 and O. So I will, if I say 0, that means O only, so don't get panic on that. So let's see. So this is the algorithm for that. You can see algorithm is also same actually. It is mostly I will show you in the code also. So yeah, so you can see this is the pseudocode actually. So first what we have to do is we have to run 2 for loops for traversing this matrix, and we have to, as I told, we have to first of all check for the rows, okay, first row and the last row, and the first column and the last column. So for doing that we can simply like run a loop, okay, two nested loops, and then we will check if I is equal to 0, that means it is the first row. Then we will check if the board of I0, I and J, okay, if this is like this point, if this is 0, so it will be I, J. So we will simply run a DFS on this point, from the DFS from this point, and it will mark all the adjacent O's to this point as another character that we will assume to be 1 or M. You can see I will assume as M it in the code, but here I wrote as 1 because it is difficult to write M using this mouse. So you can see we will check if board of I of IJ is O, then we will simply run a DFS on that point, and like at this point you can see DFS will run. So it will automatically or recursively call this one for this point. So it will also call for 4 directions. We will check for 4 directions. If this is IJ, so then it will check for, okay, I minus 1 J, okay, then it will check for this point. Actually this one will be not marked by this, okay, this is diagonal. So actually when we call for this, it will call for the left side, so then it will be marked. Keep that in mind. So that means it will call for like J plus 1, J minus 1, and I plus 1, and I minus 1. That is what the DFS will do. I will show you in the code also. So actually let me show you here only. So once if you see, if we call the DFS for this point, okay, if you call DFS for this point, so what it will do is it will check if this is O. So yes, it is O, and it is in between the bounds. You also have to check if I and row and column are between the bounds of the maximum row and the column, and it is greater than 0. So then we will check if it is O, then we will simply convert it to I. So we will set it to I or any another value that we want to use. So I am using different characters for A, but there you will have to use only one character. Then we will mark it as M or I, you can say. Or then what we will do, we will call it recursively for the top side, bottom side, left side, and right side. So it will call for this point. So it will again check if it is O. So yes, it is O and it is between the bounds. Then it will again mark it as I or another character that we are using, and then again it will check for the left side, top side, bottom side, and right side. So again for this point also it will check if it is O, then it will change it to I or another character, then it will again check for the left, right, bottom, and like that it will keep doing. And at the end for every like border element, if it is 0, okay, it will end up having another character here. So that means these cannot be trapped, so we'll simply don't have to traverse them. So that's why it will save a lot of time if we use DFS on in the naive, using the naive approach on the every element, then it will have more time complexity. But now you can see it is better now. So then afterwards, after we have marked all these elements as some another character, then we are only left with the O's which can be trapped, otherwise they would have been marked as another character, okay, using the DFS. So again we will traverse over this matrix and we will check if it is O, then we will mark it as X to capture it. We will mark them as X. Okay, if it is I or another character, that means it cannot be trapped. It was O and it cannot be trapped or could not be trapped. So that means we will simply mark it again back to O. So we will mark them again to O after this. So let's see the code also. So I've written the code in C++. So I will explain you the code step by step. So let's see. So actually this is the main function that we are given, and we are given a vector 2D vector, you can say, or matrix of type character. So these are actually characters. So you can see this board. So we will first of all take this the row size. So row size will be board of board dot size, and for getting the column size it will be actually board 0 dot size. So board 0 will contain actually these values. In this it will contain like these values. So its size will be 1 2 3 4. So this will be size for this board 0. So let's see. Okay, sorry. So now you can see this is the base conditions that we have got. Okay, we will also check if the row is 0. So that means if row is already not there, then it is an empty matrix that we are getting. So we'll simply return. So actually here the return type is void. As I told you, it is a by reference. So that means we have to simply change the values in this board. So we don't have to return it. It will automatically reflect into the original matrix. So here is what we are doing for the calling the DFS. So we will run 2 for loops and we will check if it is the top row, okay, or if it is a top column, the 0th column, or if it is the last row or the last column. Then we will call if we will check again if it is O. If like we are traversing this matrix, okay, as I told you, we are traversing this matrix, and at this point we will check if it is O, then we call the DFS from that point. So as it will call for the DFS function, so in the DFS we are passing the board and the row and the column, the particular element, and the maximum or the size of the row and the column. So this is our DFS function. So actually in the DFS function also you have to take it by reference because you are converting it to some another character. So I am converting. So let's see. So these are the rows and column that we are getting, row and the column, and these are the maximum sizes, okay, of the row and the column. So we will check if I is less than 0, so that means it is not valid. So we will check for the invalid conditions, and if it is these invalid conditions are true, then we will simply return because that is not valid. So we will also check for column is less than 0, so column is greater than the maximum size of the column, and the row is greater than the maximum size of row. So then we will check if the particular element is O. So if it is O, then we will convert it to some another character because that cannot be converted or captured by X's. So that means we will have to convert it to another character. So we have to here convert it to the M character. So then we will call the DFS for the 4 directions on the row. So if we are calling for this matrix, so then we will call the DFS for the top, okay, and the left and the right and the bottom. So that is what we are doing in that step, okay. So we are doing that in this step. So we will call the DFS for all the points, and DFS will automatically recursively call for all the other adjacent elements and mark them as M if they are O, because they cannot be captured. They are connected with the boundary element. So if they are connected with the boundary element, those O's are connected with the boundary element, so that means they cannot be trapped by X. These are all connected. If these are not connected, you can see by any O on the boundary, if it would have been O here, then it would have been converted. These all O's would have been converted to some another character, so they cannot be trapped. So this is what our simple DFS function is doing. And let's see. So at last what we'll do is we will simply run 2 for loops again to traverse the matrix, and then we will check if the particular element of the board is O, that means it can be trapped. So we will simply flip it or convert it to X. And otherwise if it is M, so we have to return the original matrix or return the matrix in the original form. So there was no M in that, so we'll have to convert it to the O back. So let's see. So we don't have to return anything actually. It is a like void function. So let's see. So yeah, it is running. So you can see accepted. So let's submit the solution. Yes, so you can see it got accepted and it was faster than 99.97% of solutions in C++ and also took less memory than 5.67% of solutions. So let's see the time complexity. So actually the time complexity for this will be simply rows into columns, because for a matrix you have to like run 2 for loops at least, because you have to traverse a matrix. So it will, one loop will be for the rows and one loop will be for the columns. So the max time complexity will be actually approximately n into m. So the time complexity will be m into m. The space actually will be constant because we are not using any space. We are simply converting the elements into the original matrix and returning them. So our space will be constant, but our time complexity will be number of rows into columns, or m into n. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you like this video, and I will also share this code in the description so you can check it from there. And do like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, guys.